Hey everybody, Richie Nix Gaming, and little Owen. If you hear banging in the background, it's because my little baby boy is smacking stuff against the coffee table. Also, if you can hear the audio in the background, that's Bob's Burgers, and that's because it's one of Owen's favorite cartoons, and it's to help keep him from doing all the yelling and stuff that he likes to do. Yep, that's right, Owen. Okay, today Today we're going to talk about, let's see, what should we talk about today? Yeah, let's talk about pitching. Okay, let's talk about pitching. Start with the pitchers. Alright, so first of all, you want to recruit the top number of players that you can for every position. Secondly, everyone's default position is to be right-handed, so you want to make sure that you switch it up. This right here, it states that he's a right-handed pitcher. Right-handed pitcher. Left-handed pitcher. Right-handed pitcher. Left-handed pitcher. You just want to be able to switch it up. You don't want everybody to be exactly the same. And that goes for the pitches as well. So everybody should have a fastball. And that's pretty much the only thing that you should guarantee that every single pitcher has. You want variety. And then especially actually, even more specifically than that, you want variety in multiple ways. You want different kinds of breaking balls. You want different speed balls. And then when you pick your breaking balls, you don't want them to break in the same direction. And if they do break in the same direction, that means left or right. Then you want them to break in different ways. So you see that he's got the slider. That goes straight horizontally. But he's also got the slurve. It's a combination of a curve and a slider. That breaks diagonally. Personally, I love breaking balls that break diagonally. And as you can see with my pitchers, I concentrate on control and speed before the other pitches. And then when it comes to upgrading the other pitches... Owen, come on, I'm trying to talk, buddy. What's this? When it comes to other pitches... Yeah. For example, like with my player here. Control and fastball, right? And then the second most are the knuckleball, because that's the exact opposite of a fastball. And the slurve, because that's one of my favorite pitches, but also because it's one of the better breaking options. It's a little less expected than like a regular curve or a slider or something. He only just got the two seam. That's Owen. Let's see. Everybody seems to have a curve. I don't like that. None of them have forks. Let's see then. We're gonna change somebody. Alright, so now you're gonna watch me change a pitch, because I can afford to. Where is it? Forkball. Alright. So you see that the curve and the fork are very similar. Well, a fork breaks much less, but it breaks much faster and it takes longer to start breaking. So it's a little... I know personally for me as a batter, a forkball throws me off more than a curveball does. So, alright. So you select the pitch, you double click it, or you press it again after it's selected. Ow, Owen, be careful. Then you have to be careful about which one you're replacing, because one time I accidentally just powered through this and replaced the fastball, You don't want to replace a four-seam fastball. Okay. You get one closer. I know that his control... So their control is also like their stamina for like how long they can pitch. So something like a closer doesn't need the highest control, but you also want him to have a tight pitching circle, and you want him to be able to put it where you want him to put it. That's important. What's up, buddy? And then when it comes to reliefs, again, ow, right-handed, left-handed, right-handed, left-handed, right-handed. I think I literally went just every other one. And then I also like dependent on the fact, like, I know Jon Snow is supposed to be right-handed. This is named after my girlfriend. She's right-handed. Things like that. Alright. And then while we're here, since we're all looking at the names, and I ask in every video, that is me. That is Owen, my son. That is Peregrine Took, one of the hobbits in Lord of the Rings. This is Mario. If you've ever seen the Super Mario Brothers movie starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, you learn that they make the joke that since it's called the Super Mario Brothers, that Mario has to be their last name. So Mario's name is Mario Mario. Mariadoc Brandybuck, a.k.a. Mary. Samwise Gamgee. Emily. Axel Foley from the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Jon Snow. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I actually forget what the C stands for. Like Che? This is the blind guy from Rogue One. I noticed that the majority of my players are white. And I hadn't chosen anyone Asian yet. And he was really cool in that movie. So I chose him. Sterling Archer, Jonas Venture Jr., and then the rest of them I haven't actually chosen names for. Okay. So, another thing, let's see, is the motion. It doesn't change much. There are some motions that simply take longer to actually throw the pitch. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Let's see one of these. I'm trying to find it. Alright, so that's a relief pitch. Starting pitchers almost always throw completely overhanded. That sideways style is very much a relief pitcher style of pitching. Where is it? There is one very specifically that throws me off for the first few pitches until I get used to it when I'm batting. I like that one. It's gotta be it. Yep, this one. Figured it was a diamond one. This one. The windup is just so long. Like, you just get... It's part of the reason I came up with the rule of do not swing at the first pitch. Used, especially the very first pitch of a game, or if they change pitchers, the first pitch of the new pitcher, do not swing at it, because you don't know what's going to happen. This windup is almost twice as long as the other windups, so you're going to swing super early, and I do a lot. It takes a couple pitches to get used to that. Now, it doesn't really... like the pitching motion, other than that, doesn't really affect things. But if you notice, I like everybody to have their own pitching motion. I try not to have a single one of these repeated. Okay. Alright, so that's about left-handed versus right-handed, the motions, the pitching types. Let's actually pitch. Who's pitching today? Mario is. Okay, so as you can see, and as most of you know, because you're not all completely foreign to this game, you have the pitching types down at the bottom here. The game chooses, or tries to choose for you. You can change by either just directly pressing on them, or by using this. Just cycles through them in order. I honestly tend to go with what the game chooses for me, with a few exceptions. We'll get into it during the batting tutorial, but the game likes to throw the same pitch multiple times in a row. I do not. Especially if it's a breaking ball, if you give somebody the time to get used to it, and especially because the AI seems to expect it, it's just going to give you a disadvantage. So, let's see. We'll go with the forkball first, just cause. So with breaking balls, I like to... Well, first of all, I like to pitch into the corners for the most part. They're the most difficult places to get good contact. The edge in general is pretty good. With breaking balls, I really enjoy aiming outside the box so that the pitch drops into the box. Like this. Or like this. See, now I've put in opposite corners 2 different pitches. He doesn't know what's going to happen now. Alright. Terrible example. But I got 2 strikes on swings. So I probably should have gone with the Ephus pitch like it was suggesting. Alright, so this means that he's leading from first a noticeable amount. He's probably going to try to steal. I have never gotten somebody out by checking them like that. In fact, especially once you get a good catcher. With the catcher, I like to improve fielding, throwing, and agility the most. If you have a good catcher, just throw a fastball. And they are really likely to beat the attempted steal. Alright, so with that, you can see that I chose the slider, and I didn't aim outside the box, but I still ended up in a corner, and that was the goal. And I'm tempted not to do the same pitch twice in a row. I do sometimes like putting all of the pitches in the same place because it just makes it feel that much more like snooty. Like, look at that. Like, all 3 pitches ended up in the same corner and you couldn't get it, man. This guy's got skulls on his elbows. A lot of people, like it, especially in real life, a right-handed slider, since it goes from right to left, use them on right-handed batters so that like they fall away from them. I actually find that the left-handed batters have a harder time with it than the right-handed batters. Oh, wow. Home run, good job. I like this skin. He looks angry. Woof. This pitching tutorial is going real well, isn't it? But those are the basics. Damn. Then with the starting pitchers, especially since I have a full staff of pitchers now, pretty much the moment they start getting tired, I'm in the game suggest changing them out, substituting rather. I do, unless it is inning 9 and I feel like just giving them the full game, especially if it's if the opposing team has not scored yet. I've never gotten a perfect game with no hits or anything, but I've gotten plenty of shutouts. And that's I think that's it. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments. If I didn't really get to anything, I'm winging it. I didn't script this at all. I didn't practice this at all. I just opened the game, and I didn't even know I was going to do pitching, as you can tell from the beginning of this video, so. Owen's so funny. And I guess I'll see you guys later. Please like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. I didn't get around to making the Patreon this weekend like I planned on it. It's been crazy in this house. Emily got a job, and she's been working, and that means I'm up at like it means so she's been working super early. Ooh. Why didn't you just finish running it yourself? And that means I've been up with Owen. Yesterday he woke up at like 5:30. Today he tried to wake up at like 6:30, and I successfully put him back to bed till about 7. But yeah, that's like the life of a parent, right? And we needed the extra money, so Emily needed a job, and because we need the money and can't afford to spend more money, we had to find a job for her where her schedule was the opposite of mine. I work second shift. I work 4 p.m. to midnight. So she had to work the mornings, and neither of us thought about how that is going to actually exhaust both of us, because she has to wake up and go to work, and then she has to stay up at night to deal with Owen and put him to bed. I have to wake up and deal with Owen in the morning and stay up at night because I'm at work. So it's gonna be fun. We'll see how this goes. But it's one more reason why. Oh, home run! It's one more reason why I've got to get the Patreon up, and hopefully a lot of people are willing to help us out, because we're 2 young parents. We're not rich. Our parents aren't rich. And while we are doing the best we can and we aren't failing, it's just hard. I don't know the circumstances of a lot of you guys, but life is hard. But the point of this was not to start wallowing in self-pity or anything. Sorry. I ramble. Again, didn't have the scripted at all. So I'm just gonna stop before I embarrass myself. Like, subscribe, share. Check out my other channel, Richie Nix Music. I've been doing a lot more with this instead of that because I don't have the computers and everything, but there's a lot of video game music there, and there will be a lot more. There's a lot of original music too, but I'll be arranging more and more stuff and posting more and more there since the internet is up. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hope this was the least bit helpful. Like I said, ask questions in the comments. I'll answer them to the best of my ability, and I will try to get to them in another video. Alright, bye everybody.